on this podcast.
We don't talk about that in these parts, all right?
Don't tell nobody you lied.
We have a segment that we call Animal Crossing.
Okay, love it.
That is the Avatar Animal Crossing of hybrid animals. Do you have a favorite or a handful of favorites? I hate when people ask me for just one because I have a very hard time choosing. So what are the ones that pop into your head when you think about some of your favorite hybrid animals?
I think I'm going to have to go with hog monkeys. They're up there. I just really like monkeys for whatever reason, like real monkeys. So I think that was a good one. I'll admit I haven't seen Korra all the way through. I did start it recently and I'm very into it, but I do love the polar bear dog. So that's one thing that was kind of lacking from The Last Airbender. There was no real dog characters, I think.
And Naga was part of the original concept and she just didn't make it in. That was a really early design that I believe Brian had done. And they held on to her and then they popped her in when they had a chance.
I'm glad.
Because it's based on Brian's real dog, right?
Oh, yeah.
Later, when we went to finalize the design, I worked in my dog Gunther and Mike's dog Truman. They were brothers. I worked in some aspects.
He's like, even with the same huge back legs and small front legs, somehow that was all happening in real life.
So Brian's dog is massive, is what you're saying.
Yes. But think about Naga. I thought about this thing, Jen, about Naga and Appa. We realized Appa is so important. Without Appa, our gang, Zach, what would we do? We can't go anywhere. We can't go.
Yeah.
No, half the plot was based around being able to travel around the world.
Half the plot was Appa.
We do these most valuable bending to most valuable non-bending moments per episode. And early on, we were like, well, we can't give it to Appa every time, but he kind of is the reason that they're able to do anything. And he is an airbender, technically.
Comes through in the clutch.
How about episodes, Zach? Any episodes that really stick out?
This is another tough one. It's, I have a lot of memories. And I think, I really do think that most of the lasting memories come from the first season, which is odd because that was, farthest from now. I think that the most memorable to me, and I've said this before, is the King Boomy episode. I feel like that's kind of where I started to feel like I was hitting my stride as an actor. I started to understand the character. It was just a very fun episode. That being said, there are a few that also throughout the rest of the series that stuck with me. One is Zuko Alone, which is I think the only episode that I'm not in. But Dante, you were incredible.
So good.
Zuko's character arc is amazing, and I mean you were just so phenomenal in voicing him.
Thanks, man.
Tales of Ba Sing Se, obviously, that's a classic, unforgettable. And I've also
I love that episode too. It's my favorite.
That could have won all the awards from as far as I'm concerned. Oscar, I'm happy to hand over the Oscar.
Give it to it.
The Pulitzer, sure, I'm ready.
Tears are always in the festivities when that one comes on.
Oh, so good.
I also think I like the Guru Patsik stuff. I just think it took the show in an interesting direction, added a lot of spirituality and other things that typically you don't see in cartoons that are made for kids. I don't want to call it a kids show because that's kind of putting it into a box a little bit. But I think it's just it was a very cool and different direction.
Oh, I love that you brought that up. That's so true.
Right?
For Shadow Report, what are your thoughts about the times that Aang lied? I mean, for the fandom, it's very conflicted about those moments in the show.
It's an emotional topic for many fans.
Even you as a kid, I mean, imagine you as 12 or younger doing this show, and you're like, hold on a second, I get to lie? I lied.
Great question, Dante.
What did you feel at that age?
He's such a pure character that, it was. It's kind of hard to take a character in a direction, doing something that they're normally not in the position of doing. And Dante, I feel like you probably had a similar experience when Zuko undergoes his kind of awakening. And
I was an adult. I was a bona fide adult when I did it. I was like, I was seeing what's going on. You're like 11 years old. This is how I do it. I just lied about the whole thing. You're like, yeah. All right, good. Have next episode. You're like, oh, what happened?
Bring it on. Yeah, no, I mean, I think like part of why Aang was I don't want to say an easy character to play, but like he really was just so genuine. And so all I really had to do was be genuine. So telling a lie and acting and figuring out how to do it and still make it convincing, but not, it was difficult and uncommon, very uncharacteristic.
Yeah, it's funny too, because foreshadow report. Those two book one lies are so different in their utility. Like one of them, it enrages people because it's such a toss off at the end of something that it's like, how can he just so comfortably in the Great Divide just be like, I just made it up.
I made the whole thing up.
Like that would come so easily. That one is so light and just fluffy and and it's
kidding.
gone.
Why did he have to lie?
Like that's
if you lie, don't tell nobody you lied. Just
that's
let
an
it be.
adult
Or
lie.
say,
That's an adult lie. It's an adult lie that an adult tells children. You know what I mean? And then they
totally.
they write it off as an adult, being like, "Oh yeah, I lied. It was just too big of a headache. They need to get it together."
Santa Claus.
Like
that was
you know
Santa
what I mean?
Claus did
yeah.
that. Cool.
I think he did the right
Versus
thing.
like the other one, which was like the heaviest of lies that we all feel like, oh, those are the times when it's that dark part of us that just is so hurt and so afraid of losing something that, we make a decision that is like eating us up inside even as we're doing it. And that episode is so important when he really confronts that. It's like, that's a real tearjerker for me.
Yeah.
We've never done this segment before. It's called Cannon Fodder. CANON, cannon fodder.
I see what you're doing there.
We're just going to play a quick game with you. Which of the following is true of these 4 ATLA factoids? Number 1, Appa was based on a stuffed animal Mike had as a kid. 2, Momo is short for more money. 3,
Mo money.
thank you.
No problems.
3, the Rebels' treehouse is based on Ewoks' dwellings in the Jet episode. Or 4, the Cabbage Merchant is hidden somewhere in every episode.
I really want to believe that it's the Cabbage Merchant, but I don't think that's true. I really think that would be more of like an internet sleuth thing. Like I think that would be out there somewhere. I haven't personally come across that.
Fair.
That's a good one. I'm leaning towards that Jet's dwelling is based on the Ewoks. I can totally see that being a Mike and Brian thing, but also, I don't think it's Momo, unfortunately, although that would probably be the coolest thing.
Mo money's cool. Mo money.
Oh, and then Appa based
Dante's
on a
imagining
stuffed
me
animal.
writing that right now, just laughing his butt off. Like, what a dork. She is such a dork. Like, patting herself on the back, like, I'm going to say mo money.
Mo money. Mo money.
I'm gonna go with the Ewok one.
Correct.
Ooh.
I would have went with that
Correct.
too. I would have went with that.
You have triumphed
Golf
at
clap.
cannon fodder. You have triumphed, my friend, at
Flameo, baby.
cannon fodder.
These are the questions we ask all our guests. Of course, what kind of bender would you be?
And I can't say the Avatar, right? I think that's too.
I don't know. You
I
could
mean,
say the
you
Avatar.
can
I mean,
probably say the Avatar.
We have 2 avatars on this program right now. I'm really feeling kind of
I hand over
whatever.
the throne. I hand it over. to
Avatar,
Zach.
whatever. 2 avatars talking in one podcast. What's going on here?
Mo money.
Sorry,
You are the
Dante, to
same
leave you out
person.
of this one.
One of the
Sorry.
avatars came up with Mo money for Momo. It's not good.
Mo
Clearly,
money,
Zach
Mo
clearly
money.
Zach deserves the title.
Oh man, I think that in terms of like your bending ability, at least for an avatar, is closely related to your personality, as we learn in both series.
Yes.
So I would say that I like most closely associate with the air nomads for pretty obvious reasons. I just like
Awesome.
I feel like that's not the answer that people want to hear, but it's true.
Why?
I
What do you think they want to hear?
I think it's the answer people want to hear.
Okay, all right.
You're like,
yeah, no.
Oh, I'm
think that's
so
what they wanna
curious
hear.
what you think people would prefer you say.
I don't know. I think maybe they just want some drama, some hot takes here.
Like
But
if
I'm
you
just
say,
you know.
I'm Fire Nation all the way, like Dante.
Yeah, but
wants
I'm
you to
not.
be.
I'm not an angry person.
Fire Nation.
I know,
Yeah,
I'm
you
not Fire
definitely.
I'm not
Nation
either.
Janet,
I'm Fire Nation.
I'm throwing the question back at you. Have you had
Here's
to
the
answer
thing.
this yet?
I've had to answer it so many times, and
At
I
cons,
have.
I'm
I
sure.
feel, yeah, I feel an intense loyalty to the Water Tribe. I love the Water Tribe with all my heart. During the course of us doing this podcast and of like understanding myself as Janet, the character on this podcast, I identify so hard with Toph. It's an interesting thing that's happening because I feel like I'm more apt to like, let a burp out and still manage to like take care of business. I'm just starting to wonder.
In the few episodes of Korra that I have seen, I can see that. I can see similarities between Korra and Toph and just like their rebellious spirit. So that doesn't
it's not as far as a departure as I was afraid it was. Okay, that's
no way.
Yeah, Korra's a little rough around the edges. Rough around the edges, that Korra.
To say the least.
Rough around the edges. Because if you think about it, like the original cast, like the original gang, if you would be
the OGs.
The OGs, they're actually all rich kids. Prince Zuko's the prince of the Fire Nation. Toph is Toph Beifong. She's like from the richest family. And then even the Katara and Sokka
their dad is pretty
That's true.
Big.
Yeah.
Their dad is the chief.
Yeah.
So it's like they're all refined.
That's a good point.
That's true.
Characters,
That's
you know what I'm saying? That they all came together. And then of course,
the
Avatar's the Avatar. I think they're raised by monks.
They toss
so
flower petals at my feet wherever I go. So.
Yeah. So, but when it came to Korra, Korra's a little rough around the edges.
Yeah.
That one.
It's true. It's a whole different vibe. And
then the rest of your gang is all messed up too. None of those guys are royal. None of those guys are royal posh guys. We're like a bunch of posh kids doing stuff. And then you guys...
Listen, again, I give my heart to the people who are still hurt that they turned on Korra thinking they were getting more Avatar, The Last Airbender. I love you. I know your pain. I know you don't need me to love you, but I still love you because I get it, because I love The Last Airbender so much. And it is a wild ride into the future when you start Chorus. I am so happy just to be myself as a nerd talking about this show. And speaking of nerds talking about the show, what about our final question we're going to ask? Because we get asked and we feel responsibility as the kind of representatives of the fans on the podcast. Dante?
Who do you ship?
I had a feeling that one was coming.
Who do you ship?
Yeah, I learned about the whole concept of shipping on our last reunion, Dante, which was on one of your streams. Well, again, I'm gonna give the answer that everyone wants to hear, that I just can't not say Katang.
Katang, say it.
It's Katang. Like, everyone was waiting for it the entire series. It happened. What else is there?
I mean, there is.
There are other ships, Zach. There are other ships.
Of course. Hey, I think Zuko and May are great. I love both of those characters. I think Cricket, who voiced May, was great.
Mako's great. Mako's a great ship.
Yep. I like
that Zutara ship. You heard about the Zutara ship?
We don't talk about that in these parts. All right. This is a Zutara free zone. Yeah. It's all in your head, buddy. I will say one more thing, that I think any of Sokka's ships, I love Yue and also Suki. I think you just saw a different side of Sokka in those moments. It was cool. It kind of rounded out his character a little bit more.
Let's get real. Sokka gets all the girls.
Yeah,
he's a popular guy.
Cool. Guess who gets all the girls?
Yeah, popular guy.
I mean, we can bend, but Sokka's getting a girl in every place he goes.
Yeah.
It's that boomerang.
By the way, Katara has a lot of people interested in her as well, I will say.
Awesome.
This is true.
She's got a lot of suitors.
Everywhere.
A lot of suitors, deservedly
Katara can't
so.
turn around when someone's batting their eyes.
I mean, she's Katara. What are you going to do?
Katara.
She's just a knockout human being. Like, she's an amazing character.
It's those bangs. It's those little...
So the droopies.
Yeah,
everybody loves the droopies.
Yeah, Dante, that's what it is. That's all it is. It's not the fact that she's one of the best characters ever created in animation or otherwise.
She's amazing. Katara is... How can you not love Katara?
No, you're
She's
just
amazing.
stinging right now because Zach totally schooled you on
Dropping
Katara
truth
being
bombs.
Yes.
Yeah, Zutara being in your head.
Oh, man.
That.
This has been so much fun. Zach, thank you so much for taking time out of your schedule to hang with us. We've been looking forward to this, and it has not disappointed at all. It has been
Same
a
here.
blast.
I had a great time with you guys.
Varney, we found the Avatar.
You found him.